In Capital News tonight, more than 124.56 billion farmers of payments embezzled from cooperatives. Court unable to hear case against Chadema leaders due to Freeman Mbowe's poor health. And in sports, Mr. and Miss Physique contenders have participated in a boot camp ahead of the competition on Friday. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. I am Vanessa Victor. Let's start things off with the national news. The Minister of Agriculture, Japhet Hassunga, said more than 124 billion shillings, being farmers' payments, has been stolen through cooperative societies, according to the 2018-2019 audit report conducted by the Cooperative Audit and Supervision Corporation, COASCO. Minister Hassunga said the audit was done on 4,413 cooperatives, out of which 303 got clean audits.
Jumla kuu ya fedha zote ambazo kwa mujibu wa taarifa ya ukaguzi ya COASCO.
According to report from COASCO, over 124 billion shillings has been embezzled by AMCOS groups, while group members are still suffering. I am going to hand over the report to PCCB to use this data in order to do further investigations towards this matter. Everybody involved will be investigated in this cooperative issue. This is a warning to those who were involved to start returning the money. My call to all who are responsible in monitoring cooperatives: time has come to pay the dues. They were used to squander cooperatives' money as they pleased.
The national chairman of opposition party Chama cha Demokrasia and Maendeleo, Chadema, Freeman Mbowe, has failed to appear in Kisutu Magistrate Court to give his defense. He has requested the court to give him more time to rest as he is suffering from various health problems, which include dengue fever, blood pressure and malaria. Mbowe and his 8 co-accused, who are also leaders of Chadema Party, are facing 13 charges of incitement, were represented in court by advocate Peter Kibatala. On his part, State Attorney Faraja Nchimbi responded by saying that last week they received reports on Freeman Mbowe's health situation, supported with medical documents. But when he was discharged from the hospital, there had been no other information from a doctor stating the need for Mbowe to be given more time to rest. Principal Resident Magistrate Thomas Simba adjourned the case to give the accused more time to recover, saying the case will continue on the 28th and 29th of November and 2nd and 3rd of December 2019. And the government has issued a 4-month deadline to the National Housing Corporation, NHC, to verify tenants in buildings electronically in order to identify those who have been owning the houses illegally. This directive was given by the Minister of Land, Housing and Settlement Development, William Lukuvi, after a meeting with the board of NHC in Dar es Salaam.
Mimi najua kuna baadhi ya wapangaji ambao wameanzisha vishirika vya nyumba ndani yenu.
I know there are some landlords who have started unions amongst themselves. There are people with more than one house. I'm also aware that once they leave, they sell on the house at a very high price, between 10 to 20 million, taking money on the back of the NHC. It is clear that there is no correct records of tenants or property NHC own. Therefore, I instruct you to start electronic documentation in records keeping of all tenants and must be incorporated in NIDA. We want for every tenant that moves in to have details of where they work, their full names as registered in NIDA.
And 11 leaders of agricultural, marketing and cooperative societies AMCOS in Tindiri District, Rovuma Region have been detained by police following allegations of buying cashew nuts from farmers by using measurements which would make them profits but incur farmers' losses. The 11 AMCOS leaders were arrested following a directive by the District Commissioner of Tinduru, Julius Mtatiro.
Today we have arrested several AMCOS leaders who are now under arrest of the police, where they are up for investigations and interrogations that will be done by the Police Force and Prevention and Combating of Corruption Bureau PCCB. The government has done a very good thing in reminding us on buying kangomba from farmers because it is illegal according to our laws. Our complaints to AMCOS groups is reduction of levies every now and then. This shows unprofessionalism in AMCOS groups. People will not trust the groups anymore. What is supposed to remain at the AMCOS groups is taken away by the government. In that case, what can AMCOS staff do?
The President and Chief Executive of Trade and Development Bank, Dr. Admasu Tedesse, commended the government of Tanzania for implementing the standard gauge railway project from internal funds and pledged that his bank will make sure it secures more funds for the project. Dr. Tedesse made the statement when touring part of the Dar es Salaam-Morogoro rail infrastructure.
We have a lot of landlocked countries in this part of Africa. Tanzania is bordering several of those. And so Tanzania has a duty, but so does the bank, to help Tanzania make that connectivity possible in an efficient way, in a well-conceptualized project like this one. So far we are all very excited, and our international partners have confirmed that they're going to be working with us and the government of Tanzania to help complete the financing that's required. Of course, the government of Tanzania took the first step. They were bold. They funded the initial phase from their own budget. That's the leadership that transforms Africa. So we salute the government of Tanzania for that very important first step.
We do need help in those areas where 294 kilometers from Kutupora to Tabora, 131 kilometers from Tabora to Isaka, and 246 kilometers from Isaka to Mwanza. They are free to choose however distance they can manage, although our determinations were to complete the whole project despite financial constraints. I believe that our team will soon be in dialogues with them to scrutinize on how the project will be completed.
The Ministry of Health, Community Development, Gender, the Elderly and Children has warned consumers to be careful when cooking pork meat in order to avoid epilepsy, which is caused by pork meat infected by tapeworms. The warning was given by the Deputy Minister of Health, Dr. Faustine Ndugulile, in Arusha during a meeting with health experts on human diseases.
My call to all pigs rearers, they should adhere to measures of keeping those animals, because if they will be roaming around in streets, once they release their waste, it is easy for the waste to destroy vegetables, and for those who do eat such meat, they should make sure that it is well cooked, because the worms can easily enter into human body. Also, I urge slaughters to have certifications from livestock officers on safety of that meat for human consumption. The project is facilitating laboratory equipments to allow us carry research at higher standards. Meanwhile, this project has brought key stakeholders together in the African continent, aiming at combating cysticercosis. We are finding means on protecting pigs from being infected with that disease. because one among the key vectors is pigs roaming around in streets and eat feces. More efforts are needed in combating this disease, especially multi-collaboration with stakeholders from different countries within and outside the continent.
Kutokomeza ndani ya Afrika, lakini pia hata katika uso wa dunia siku za usoni.
The High Court Iringa Division has started hearing the murder case of Channel 10 journalist Daudi Mwangosi after the appeal court dismissed the previous verdict and directed the case to be tried again. The case faces police officer Specifius Cleophas Simon, which is being tried by High Court Judge Sekela Moshi. It started by listening to evidence given by the first witness, Said Mnunka, who was the head of the field police unit in Iringa region at the time of the incident in Nyololo Mufindi district in 2012. He told the court that he had been in charge of the operation to disperse supporters and leaders of Chadema who had violated a nationwide ban on demonstrations and political meetings in order to pave way for a population census exercise. He said when the situation is stabilized and they were leaving the area, the police commander at the time, Michael Kamhanda, had directed him to tell FFU officers to leave alone a citizen they had surrounded, whom he soon recognized was a journalist. The witness told the court that as they neared the police officers, they heard an explosion, after which they saw that it had killed the journalist Daudi Mwangosi. Said Mnunka said on the following day after the incident, he was called to a police meeting to identify a picture of police officers printed by Mwananchi newspaper alleged to have attacked the journalist, and that was when he identified Pacificus Cleophas Simon as the officer who had held a long-range rifle at journalist Daudi Mwangosi. The case has been adjourned until tomorrow. And that's all for the national news. International news follows next. And in international news, the protests have continued in Beni, the Democratic Republic of Congo, following the recent killings of more than 10 people. The protesters are angry that the UN and government soldiers have failed to prevent attacks by ADF rebels. The United Nations peacekeeping mission in the DRC, MONUSCO, have been redeployed to other areas for their safety.
Okay.
And the Building Bridges Initiative BBI Task Force has officially handed its report to President Uhuru Kenyatta at State House in Nairobi, Kenya. Present at the occasion were Deputy President William Ruto and former Prime Minister and opposition ODM leader Raila Odinga. The report has the objective to, among other things, resolve ethnic animosity.
I honestly believe we have set the path to long-term prosperity and stability for our nation. A time comes, let us shelve these things. Let us debate. I would look forward to talking to my colleagues, my brothers here, because they will have their own views. But I don't want us to shout at each other from a podium. I want to be able to call my brother, Musalia, what do you think? You tell me what is, and I will to be able to give him my opinion. To do the same with Steve, to do the same with Moses, to do the same with every one of you. And that's what I'm saying. Let's have some kind of national ethos that we live in and we believe in together as Kenya. What makes us Kenyan? What makes us Kenyan should not be our tribe, should not be our religion. should not be our clan. What makes us Kenyan should be something bigger. Let us agree together, what is that? Right? Okay? What is that that brings us together when we stop as a country to watch Kipchoge running? What is it? What is it, and how can we put it together and make it part and parcel of our daily life? What is that when Harambee Stars is playing, or when our rugby players are playing, that we will put everything aside? Now we are Kenyan.
Those are wise words from President Uhuru Kenyatta. And on to our next story. A gang of armed youth known as Battalion 86 has attacked and injured 10 people in 3 streets in Mombasa along the coast of Kenya. Police have said one of the gang members was injured at a fire exchange with the police, but that he got away and that investigations are continuing to find the ringleaders of the gang.
I had left home to go to work, but when I got to the main road, I was attacked. I woke up early to go for prayers, but on my way there, I was met with a group of more than 10 young men. They forced me to hand over what I had. I managed to escape, but they took my phone.
And that is all for international news. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. The government of Zanzibar said despite the fall in price of clothes in the world market, the government will continue to buy clothes from farmers at current prices in the aisles.
It has not made a lot of profit, and this time there will be compensation so as to protect farmers against price fluctuation. I'm aware of an incident whereby payment to farmers was delayed, but at the moment most farmers have been paid, and in coming days you will not hear about this again. We want farmers to be paid immediately. They know the value of cloves in Zanzibar and the benefits to be had out of it. This year's plan is to produce 130,000 tons, so in a sense the world market has been exhausted.
Mobile phone company Vodacom has announced an offer called Black Friday, which will benefit all customers who pay for their goods by using M-Pesa and MasterCard at supermarkets. Vodacom says customers will get back 10% of cost paid to goods purchased on Friday this month.
Anza kuleta utamaduni wa watu kusherekea hii siku ya Black Friday hapa Tanzania.
We want to bring in the tradition of celebrating Black Friday here in Tanzania, whereby various businesses will give out offers on some of the products they sell. And Vodacom has 2 offers through M-Pesa. One is making payments via the phone, whereby up to 10% cashback is given. but retailers have also come up with promotions.
Ni nafasi kubwa sasa ya Tanzania.
It is a big opportunity for Tanzanians to transact more securely compared to other services, because through M-Pesa money is received instantly and there are better security features.
Nafika hapo hapo.
And distribution of subsidized fertilizers continued in various parts of the country, with the government in Chunya district in Mbeya region saying it has received fertilizer on schedule and that it will help tobacco farmers get good harvests.
For this tobacco season in Chunya, we've officially started distribution of fertilizer, which will benefit our farmers in Chunya. We promise that we will work well with your administration to make sure that the farmer gets high quality fertilizer.
And that is all for business news. Sports news is up next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment of going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Position, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lynn.
And sports. The road to Mr. Tanzania competition has taken another step as Mr. and Miss Physique contenders competed today in the boot camp, with the winners remaining in the camp for the competition on Friday.
Yeah, there are huge differences in Mr. Tanzania this time. First of all, we have a new category, which is Miss Fitness category. Miss Fitness Tanzania title. So this is a new title we are going to start from this year, which will go on in the subsequent years, and we are getting now the female contestants for this title and this category, so which is a huge difference from the last Mr. Tanzania 2017. The second difference is that last Mr. Tanzania 2017 we had Mr. Handsome and Mr. Photogenic category, which we have clubbed it to Mr. Physique category, so that the winner contestant of Mr. Physique can go to Mr. World competition, because that's how the whole rules and regulations have been put up, so that the Mr. Physique category can compete.
And Hassan Mwakinyo's opponent, Arne Tinampe from the Philippines, has promised a good fight when he faces Tanzania on a Friday at the Uhuru Stadium in Dar es Salaam.
Pag magkaroon ako na chance na,
saying that if he even gets a chance in the first round, he'll just finish it in the first round. He might be young, yeah, he might be strong, but yeah, he's going to give a good fight.
Okay no, mababait naman mga tao.
And that was Sebastian Koloa, our sports correspondent, who did that interview. And on to our next story. Mario Balotelli has been subject to an extraordinary racist comment from his chairman at Brescia. The former Leeds owner, Massimo Cellino, targeted the striker who was dropped for the weekend defeat by Roma after a row with the manager, Fabio Grosso, as he answered questions about the former Italy international. Here's more on this.
Can I say that he's black and he's working to whiten himself, but he has great difficulties in this. He He was asked about Balotelli before a Serie A meeting on Monday and may have been using a play on the word black, which in Italian is often used to mean angry. Brescia, who are bottom of the league, attempted to play down Celino's comments, saying in a statement it was a quip that was clearly misunderstood. The club added Celino was attempting to downplay the excessive media coverage by protecting Balotelli. On leaving the meeting, Celino said, "Who's calling me a racist? I don't have to excuse myself from something that I don't believe in."
Zlatan Ibrahimovic has teased a possible return to Sweden by suggesting he may have signed for Allsvenskan side Hammarby. Here is more.
The 38-year-old free agent used Instagram to publish an animation of a Hammarby shirt bearing his name. He tagged the club's account in the post but offered no further insight into the meaning of the message. Hammarby communications manager Axel Pershagen has since denied that the veteran striker has officially completed a move to the club. He said, "Zlatan has not joined us yet. If he had signed a contract, it would be on our website."
Pep Guardiola said that barring a miracle, Sergio Aguero will miss the Manchester derby because of a muscle injury. Here is this report.
The striker, who developed a problem with his thigh during Saturday's win over Chelsea, will miss Tuesday's Champions League home game against Shakhtar Donetsk, plus the matches against Newcastle, Burnley and almost certainly the visit of Manchester United on Saturday week. Aguero's absence offers an opportunity to Gabriel Jesus. The Brazilian has 5 goals in 16 appearances, including 1 in the Champions League in the reverse game at Shakhtar.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and good night.